Good morning, children. So, I'm starting the next topic of junction diode chapter, that is diode as a rectifier. Alright. Now, what do you mean by the term rectifier? Rectifier means it is a device which converts alternating voltage or alternating current into direct current or direct voltage. Okay. And before starting this topic, I just want to remind you this is the most important topic of this chapter. And frequently, and as the next chapters are deleted from your portion this year, so this topic is very, very important. So everyone should do learn it, understand it. Now, what is rectifier? I said it is a device which converts alternating current into direct current or alternating voltage into direct voltage. Now, if you plot alternating current, then you know that alternating current is having one complete cycle. Means just if I plot that alternating current it looks like this, isn't it? E versus T graph. So you see this is a full cycle. Now when the diode can rectify only half of the full cycle, then that is known as the half wave rectifier. So first I will discuss that how a junction diode is used as a half wave rectifier. So, what is the circuit for a half wave rectifier? First of all, we need the AC input. So, this is the AC input. This is the way we draw. Means here, this is AC input. Alright. Now, actually it is nothing but a transformer coil. Then you connect one diode, PN junction diode. I hope you can remember the symbol. This triangle is P region and this bar is the N region. This is the PN junction diode. And then there is a load resistance. This is load resistance across which output is measured. This diagram is important. Everything, whatever I have written, whatever I have drawn, everything is important. So please don't be casual in your approach. When you are practicing the diagram, everything you must write properly. So this is the load resistance RL, means across which the output voltage will be measured. Alright. So for understanding, suppose I am naming this point A and B. Is that clear? Now here, when you will draw the output and input voltage, then it is my suggestion that you should draw it in the same vertical scale as I am doing. Alright? Means first you this is the time axis, and here first you are plotting the input voltage along this direction, then along this direction on the same vertical line you must draw it. Then you will be able to draw the accurate diagram. That's why on the same vertical line you must draw. So you see the input voltage, if I draw the input voltage, it is like this. Isn't it? Now, if you consider the first half cycle, in the first half cycle, if you consider the point A and B, then you see here I am writing it point-wise for the first half cycle. You see A is positive and B is negative, isn't it? Because the half cycle it is positive, so this A will be positive, B is negative. So look at the junction diode, how the diode will be biased. P is connected to positive, N is connected to negative. It means what? Suppose this is diode D, so D is forward biased. So you know, when it is forward biased, then the current will flow. And what is the direction of the current? P to N. So the current will flow along this direction. Means if you consider the load resistance, the current is flowing from up to down, top to bottom. Isn't it? In this direction, P to N. Always current flows from P to N. So the current will flow. So you see what you will get, how to plot the output. You will get the output exactly in the same way. Remember, the height you should make it same. Okay, height of this input and output voltage should be made same. Alright. Now unfortunately you will not study about the transistor, because transistor in that case the output get magnified. So that's why it is very important to follow this point here for diode as a rectifier, that height of the input voltage and height of the output voltage should be made almost equal. So you see D is forward biased, so output is obtained. Clear? Now, consider the negative half cycle. So, for negative half cycle. For negative half cycle, what will happen? A will become negative with respect to B. So, you can write down this way. A becomes negative and B becomes positive. Alright, because it is in the opposite direction. So, A when negative, then negative is connected to P and N is connected to positive. What does it mean? D is reversed biased. D is reversed biased. And as we know that during reverse biasing condition, the diode almost sent no current in the output circuit. So, what will happen? Output is not obtained. Output is not obtained. So you see what is happening during this second half cycle. If you consider the second half cycle, you will not get any output. Then again you come to this first half cycle, you will get, it should be of same width. So again for the second half cycle, you will get a output. Is that clear? So look at the diagram, input and output. We are getting output in the same direction, but we are not getting for the full cycle. We are getting only for the half cycle. That's why this is known as the half wave rectifier. Very important for your board exam. So the way I have drawn the diagram, the way I have drawn the input output voltage, okay, exactly in the same manner you must write, learn and practice. Don't forget to mention what is plotted along x-axis. This is time plotted and along y-axis input voltage and output voltage plotted. Again I remind you that draw in the same vertical line. Then what will happen? Exactly the same thing you will get. The next is coming full wave rectifier. Now for full wave rectifier, instead of using one diode, we take the help of two PN junction diodes. So suppose this is diode D1 and this is diode D2. So you see how the circuit connection is made with the AC input with the secondary coil D1. P of both the diodes are connected to the 2N. Then N regions are connected together. Then from the middle of the load, from the middle of the secondary coil and in between this point, the load resistance is connected and output is taken across these 2 points. So this is the way you have to draw the circuit diagram. Alright. Now you see, in this case, I can name the 3 points across which diodes are connected as A, B and C. D1 is connected across AB and D2 is connected across BC. So, in this case also, we have to draw the output and input. So, again I am drawing it that this is the input voltage. When you will draw the diagram in board exam or in any exam, you will use ruled page. So when you will draw the input or output, the height of positive and negative half cycle, please make them equal. Alright, height of positive and negative half cycle, please make them equal. In this case, I don't have the ruled page, so that's why I am trying like this. So you see, this is the, suppose this is the input voltage. This is T and here input voltage. It is like this. Alright. Now, what will be the output? That we will draw with the proper understanding of the circuit diagram. And the circuit diagram, don't forget to mention where the output is measured. Output is measured across the load resistance. And where the load resistance is connected, across the midpoint of the coil, secondary coil, and the line joining the end region of both the diodes. Okay. Now you see what is happening during positive half cycle. What is happening? Just see, positive half cycle means A is positive. As you are going down, then it is becoming more negative, less positive. So, if you consider A and B, what you can write? A positive, B negative. Is that clear? So, A positive, B negative means diode D1 is forward biased. Is that clear? Now come to the point B and C. With respect to B and C, B is positive, C is negative. So what you can write? B positive, C negative. So look at the diode D2. C negative, negative is connected to P. Means what? D2 is reversed bias. So D2 is reversed biased. Alright. So you see, output is obtained due to D1. Is that clear? So let us find out what will be the output. For output, the current will move in this direction, isn't it? Look at it. Through the load resistance, current is moving from right to left. Okay. So if you consider the output, what you will get? You will get the output. You will get the output for the positive half cycle. Is that clear? Now, come to the second half cycle during negative half cycle. During negative half cycle, what will happen? Upward will be negative and lower will be positive. So, if you consider the 2 points A and B, if you consider the 2 points A and B, A is negative and B is positive. So, what kind of biasing D1 is having? A negative. So, D1 is reverse biased. D1 is reverse biased. Now, if you consider the 2 point B and C, then you know B is negative and C is positive. Is that clear? So look at diode D2. C is positive, positive connected to P. So D2 is forward biased. So when D2 is forward biased, what will happen? Output will be obtained due to output will be obtained due to D2. Alright, so let us find out what will be the direction of the output. Current will move from P to N. So P to N and through RL, it will move like this. Look at the diagram. Current is moving from right to left. Means in the second half cycle also, you will get the output, but you will get the output in the same direction. Look at it. When D1 is conducting, then also current right to left. When D2 is conducting, then also the current is right to left through RL. And we are measuring the output across RL. So what is happening? You are getting the full cycle rectified. Is that clear? So you can draw for the other cycles also this way, that you are getting the full wave rectified like this. Alright, so this is the way the two diodes we can use to get a rectified current, means to convert full cycle of alternating current into direct current. So whatever the way I have written everything on the board, the output voltage, sorry, here I have forgotten to write down the output voltage. This is output voltage. So this is the way, if the question come in the exam, you must draw everything. Don't forget to show the input, output, diode D1, diode D2 and everything, okay? So this is full wave rectifier. So I once again remind you, learn every details of full wave and half wave rectifier. Now next topic is different kind of diodes. First important one is light emitting diode. What is light emitting diode? It is a forward biased PN junction diode which can emit light spontaneously when properly energized. Now we know that when a diode is forward biased, then what happens? Majority charge carriers, that is electrons and holes, they diffuse through the junction, recombine. So when the recombination takes place, then what happens? A large amount of energy is produced. Alright. So this energy for a means ordinary germanium and silicon diode, when we use, then this energy lie in the infrared region. And as you know that infrared region is invisible. We cannot see, isn't it? So if instead of using ordinary germanium and silicon, if you use gallium phosphide as the material for the semiconductor, or you use gallium arsenic phosphide as the material for semiconductor, then when the diode is forward biased, in that case when recombination of electron and hole will take place, then the energy that will fall in the visible region. That's why what you will observe, that from the diode light is emitted. Alright, so that is the working of the light emitting diode. Okay, and nowadays you know we prefer to use the light emitting diode. The short form is LED. Now LED, what are the advantages of LED? It is very small in size, light in weight, very fast in action, alright, need very low input power, alright, and other points are this, it is quite safe against mechanical shock and it emit nearly monochromatic light. And what are the applications of LED? It is used in watches, calculators, telephone switchboards. It is also used in solid state video displays. It is also used for optical fiber communication. So this is the you see forward bias PN junction diode. So battery is connected, P is connected to this. So what will happen? What will be the material used? That only you have to remember. It is not only the ordinary germanium or silicon. It should be made up of gallium phosphide or gallium arsenic phosphide. These are the two names. So point wise I have written about LED and the diagram also. These are the points you must note down as well as learn and prepare for your board exam. Now the next important kind of diode we use, that is Zener diode. From the name it is clear that the diode is named after its inventor Zener. And what is Zener diode? Already Zener breakdown voltage I discussed while discussing the reverse biasing condition. You know that it is designed to operate under reverse bias in the breakdown region. That is the most important thing. And what is the symbol for Zener diode? For ordinary diode, here the N region we just draw a single bar, but in this case it is a curve like this. Okay, this is the N region and this is the region. It indicates that it works in the breakdown region. So if you just consider the reverse biasing circuit, reverse biasing characteristics graph, you know that the current, reverse saturation current, then it is the Zener breakdown is occurring. Alright, so and after that you see the voltages remain constant but the current is increasing. Just look at it, current is increasing, that voltage is remaining constant at Vz. So across the Zener diode always the voltage remain constant. That's why it is used as a voltage regulator. And what is the principle? That voltage across it remains constant for a large change in the reverse current. Look at the current. Current is increasing. But what is happening to the voltage across the diode? The voltage across the diode, it is remaining constant. Alright. So, we have to know that how the Zener diode is used as a voltage regulator. That circuit diagram you have to learn. So, this is the circuit for voltage regulator. You see here across this point the input fluctuating voltage is applied. Then there is a resistance and then the Zener diode is connected. The parallel to the Zener diode a load resistance is connected and across the load resistance the output voltage is measured which will be constant. Why it is constant? You see Vz across the Zener diode, what will be the potential? Vz, which is constant. So across RL also whatever will be the voltage will be Vz. In this case what will happen? IL and Iz it will be regulated in such a manner that voltage across the output it always remain constant. Is that clear? Because when the current will increase, then the increased current will pass through the Zener diode, because if the current increases then also the voltage will remain the same. Is that clear? So that the current through when the current in the circuit will increase, Iz will increase but IL will remain the same. So what is happening? You are getting a constant output voltage. Now for this circuit diagram is important, and the last point, the principle, how does it work, as I wrote that voltage across the diode remain constant although there is a change in the current, reverse bias current passing through the diode. So this is the circuit diagram, very important. But one thing I am also reminding, because this question came last year also, but it may be repeated because it is an important topic. That's why you must learn and practice the diagram. And please do not forget to write each and every information I wrote on the circuit diagram. Next type of diode we use, that is known as the photodiode. Photodiode and light emitting diode, they are just reversed. Okay, in light emitting diode you have seen that it is a forward bias junction diode. Now photodiode is a reverse bias special kind of diode. When light fall on the diode, then what happens? Across the junction, the energy falling, it breaks a large number of covalent bond. As a result, a large number of electron hole pair is produced. So what will happen? Although it is reverse biased, but when it is light is falling across the diode, a large current will pass through the circuit. Okay, because we know that in reverse biasing condition almost negligible current passes through the circuit. But in this case what will happen? When light will fall on the diode, a large current high current will pass through the circuit. So this special kind of diode is used to detect any optical signals. Alright, so these are all the points regarding the photodiode. So you must learn and practice all the points regarding the photodiode. Next kind of junction diode is solar cell. So solar cell is a specially designed in junction diode. Whenever I have drawn the junction diode, then generally P region and N region we take up same width. Alright. Only in case of solar cell, when we form the junction diode, look at it, I have drawn the diagram. N region is made very thin, where the P region is broader. And above the N region there are conductor points, means these are the conductors, so that we can make the connection. And here the bottom, the entire base is made up of conducting material for bottom contact. And here the upper surface, it is coated by anti-reflector coating. Means so what is solar cell? It is a specially designed junction diode. This is the special design, and it can convert solar energy into electrical energy. So why and how it is doing? When sunlight will fall on it, it is anti-reflector coating is there. So what will happen? Sunlight will enter into the diode. Now why the N region is made thin? So so that sunlight after entering into the diode, it come across the junction. So immediately you see it will reach across the junction with its energy. So with the energy carried by the light, what the light will do? It will break a large number of covalent bond. So when covalent bond is broken, then what will happen? A large number of electron hole pair will be produced. Okay, means a large number of electrons will be accumulated here. So when the electrons, when you will make the contact at this top point and bottom point, then you see the electrons produced here, they will be able to get a closed path to circulate. So when the electron will circulate through the closed path, it will give rise to the current. So this is the way solar cell works. Alright, so we have from this chapter what you must learn and prepare, that is the reverse bias characteristic circuit and graph, forward biased characteristic circuit and graph, then half wave rectifier, every details, full wave rectifier, every details, LED and Zener diode. Out of all the 4 types of diode are the most important for board exam, but I cannot give you the guarantee that question will not come from solar cell. So solar cell and the photodiode also you must learn and prepare. So that's the end of the portion of 12th standard for this year. Thank you, children.